Sam, myself, Pope, work in the wine and spirit industry, and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So is the red-blooded Americans we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. We had this a few years ago, but I think it's worth talking about again. What are we drinking tonight, Mr. Graham?
This is the Ry3 whiskey, 14-year-old light whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
It is bottled exclusively for the syndicate. No, this is actually just All View.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the syndicate. This is just All View, which is awesome. One of my favorite stores, obviously, and I love, me and Justin have very similar palates of whiskey, so anything I buy from there is typically pretty spot on.
Yeah, definitely.
It is a cask strength, as I said, 63.7% by volume. It is not around anymore. They've sold it all, so that is a unicorn now. Yep. It is fucking delicious.
Yeah. So light whiskey, to explain what that is versus regular whiskey. In order to be a rye, wheat, bourbon, single malt, what have you, you cannot be distilled over 160 proof.
Correct.
Right? Because if you distill over that, you are losing characteristics that make it a full-fledged whiskey. Now, if you're making a vodka or a gin, you're producing a grain-neutral spirit, right? Which is produced at 190 proof because you want it to have no characteristics.
Exactly.
Right? And what is in between is a light whiskey because it's not a full whiskey. It's not a grain neutral spirit, right? So there's a little bit of softness and sweetness to it. There's no rules on the type of wood you have to age a light whiskey in. And typically light whiskeys are done for two things. The most common, Seagram 7.
Yep.
It is a simple mixing whiskey, just something you make a 7 and 7 with. It does the trick. It's inexpensive and it checks all the spots, right? Mm-hmm. The other thing that it's used for is to give blended bourbons backbone.
Right.
Like, so what we honestly have here, this is from MGP, it's a fucking 14-year-old Seagrams.
Right.
Is essentially what it is. Because it was distilled and made for the Seagrams company. But then, of course, Seagrams didn't need all the whiskey. Hence, those barrels got sold.
Yep.
It's a lot of where MGP made their business because they used to be exclusively a Seagrams producer. That's what they did. And Seagrams, frankly, just doesn't sell the way it used to back in the day.
Right, pretty much. But it's freaking delicious, this bottle. There's a lot of honeysuckle, kind of butterscotch to it.
Ton of honey.
I really enjoy this bottle of whiskey.
It's a little hot, but that's to be expected because it's a light whiskey. The ice really kind of mellows it down.
Mellows it out a little bit, yeah, for sure.
But great hot day whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
A light whiskey is a great hot day whiskey.
Especially because now I wouldn't do it with this because it is so good on its own. But light whiskey's great with 7-Up, great with Sprite, great with ginger ale. It's a perfect thing for that. And it wasn't terribly expensive because light whiskeys are less money to make.
Right. It's not new oak. Right off the jump, it's not new oak. You're using
which is one of the
barrel.
biggest expenditures of a bottle of whiskey is having to use a brand new barrel.
Yep.
But next week, I'll have the bottle with me that I forgot to bring this week.
Yeah, very good.
Which is why we got stuck to this.
Well, isn't it nice that you could just turn around in my closet and go, well, what do we feel like drinking tonight?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's nice to turn around and go, shit, I forgot the bottle I wanted to do. Let's just pull out another amazing single barrel that we just happen to have between us.
Because Houston just has a fuck ton in his closet. If you look over Mr. Graham's shoulder on the live stream where, that is where all the magic is. Lots and lots of magic in there.
There you go.
All right. What else should we always do, Mr.
Always
Graham?
remember to drink responsibly.
I will not be doing that tomorrow night while I'm in Portland. I can assure you of that.
Good. You'll be on like 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of travel.
Yeah.
All you need to do is add alcohol to the mix.
I'll be a mess on Thursday when I'm home. Have fun dealing with me, Producer Mel. That is for damn sure. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into it, Mr. Graham.
Let's do it.